There are always so many things that Baba brings up in Murli, so many things to practice and discuss. But of course, a big part of study is to churn the ocean of knowledge. And this is why it is useful to make notes. This is why it's useful to journal also. But this is also why it is useful to share and not always just sit quiet in your corner, listen, and that's it. But when you start sharing, you kind of learn to organize the ideas in your head. You kind of learn you also start listening more precisely, when you have to share and speak. So this is a very, very important aspect of our study. But there is a Murli that Baba specifically gives a method, and this Murli is of January 10th, 1988. And there are more Murlis where Baba speaks about churning and churning power. But in this Murli, he gives a simple and specific method. And I'll read that part, but you go through it yourself, that Murli, and take notes, write down.
Om Shanti, sister, you said January the 10th, 88?
Yes, January 10th, 1988. He says many, many things about churning in that Murli. And you go through it yourself. Find that part where he. Sorry, I just looked it up, no, so I couldn't.
Take your time.
Sister Rona.
Yeah.
I would like to know, it's a little bit, wake up early in the morning at Amarid Bella.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Amrit Vela means the 4 o'clock morning meditation. Amrin means nectar and Vela means hour. It is the hour of nectar. And Baba says your early morning meditation is like nectar. You get nectar from Baba if you remember him, if you go into that bodiless stage, if you experience the soul world and that connection with Baba in the soul world, the bodiless stage. That is nectar and it sets the day.
Thank you.
And that
sister.
is 4 o'clock in the morning. 4 to 4:45 is the official time. But any time between 2 and 5 is called Amrit Vela.
Sister, you might be looking for the paragraph 3. I just pulled up the Murli in English. It's starting with churning point. Churning power is the basis of experiencing the Father's treasure to be your own. I'm guessing you might be looking for this. So that's a third paragraph. And paragraphs are really long, so it could be second or third page.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is it. So he gives many, many aspects and angles to it. So you yourself also go through it, but I'll give these areas of highlight. So to make Baba's treasures your own, that is the whole idea of churning. Baba has all these treasures and you have to make them your own. And today's word was digest them. So what you do with food, you get like a whole piece of bread and you chew it, you chew it, you chew it, you chew it so that the different ingredients of it can be absorbed by the blood. So then the ingredients in that bread become part of the body. So Baba is saying you have to digest this knowledge. You have to, all Baba's treasures, you have to churn and churn and churn and churn and make it into little pieces, pieces, so that it becomes part of the way you think, part of the way you feel and see things, same as Baba. Sorry.
Sister Rona,
Yeah.
Chantil, it's like internalizing that knowledge.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll share now what Baba's saying. Churning power means to go to the bottom of the ocean. No, the ocean of knowledge means you have that point of knowledge and you go into the depth of that point of knowledge. You be introverted and you go into the depth of every jewel of knowledge. It is not just repeating them. No, because often after Murli, this is what happens. We repeat the points of knowledge, which is good, nothing wrong with that. That is actually like you remembering, okay, what are the things that Baba said in the Murli, trying to structure it. What are the main points? What are the side points of what Baba had said? Because first you have to kind of map the Murli and have in your, what is it that Baba exactly said? What is the main point? And what are the side points? Like it's more like you analyzing what Baba has said. And that in itself is a skill. Now, if you, especially, there was a time when we used to learn these things in school to analyze a text or to analyze a lecture. These days, we might not even learn that in school anymore, but he says a whole Murli, what has he said? Exactly. What was in his mind that he was trying to convey? What are the main points? What is the red line in the Murli? What are the side points? What it links to? So you mustn't just repeat them, but what is the significance of every point? Now, what does it mean? And what is the importance of that point? So, for example, what was it today, Jeannie, that you said you liked? Bodiless? What was it?
I liked when he says that this is a story of victory and defeat.
Yeah.
There were a few things.
Yeah. Okay. That was one.
That was one of them. Yeah.
This is a big thing, no? The drama. This is a big area where lots and lots of churning needs to go on. But one aspect is that this drama is a story of victory and defeat. Now that sounds nice. It sounds poetic. It's very beautiful. It's very revolutionary also. But what is the significance of this point? What is the importance of this point? Now, it means that in the story of humanity, there is victory and there is defeat, but there also in the individual story of every soul, there is victory, period of victory, and period of defeat. And there are roles of greatness and there are roles of defeat. And Gayatri Ben was sharing indirectly. There was the golden and the silver time of democracy. And there is the copper and iron time of democracy, so to say. Understand? So this victory, or there is this balance in the drama. There are parts of victory, parts of defeat. And the deeper significance behind this is it is a story. So there is entertainment in the whole thing. There is intricacy, there is wonder, there is amazement, there is awe when there is victory, but also in the defeat. If you watch it as a detached observer, the whole story, you know this has to happen. And it is part of the deeper wisdom of the drama, because otherwise the drama cannot reset also. And the individual soul on their journey, you cannot reset if you don't have both in the journey. Understand? So this is the deeper significance, one level of deeper significance of this part. So not just repeating, this is a drama of victory and defeat. That is good. We have to fix that here. But what does this mean? What does this imply? Why is this important that Baba brings it up? So that is one aspect of churning. So Baba is saying you mustn't just repeat the jewels of knowledge, but what is the significance of every point? And at what time you must use this point? Or at what time can you use this point of knowledge? So that is part of churning. When you're churning, okay, so how can I use this point of knowledge? What is the time to consciously bring it up and use it?
And
No.
may I add, Shanti, that
Go
it
on.
might look different for each person depending on what they're going through.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Sister Ona, but when
And we
we are
can learn from each other, but every soul has their, and what may feel as a victory to you or a defeat to you might not feel as a defeat for others because they don't have that karma at that level or they have already moved beyond.
But whenever we are going through a scene of defeat, right? I think because we are iron age souls, often we get into this cycle of trying to dispel that darkness rather than trying to show the light on it. I think that's one point which deeply need to be understand, and just we should put it in our like intellect in such a way that it becomes a natural nature. It hasn't become natural with me. I do get caught and
Oh,
and
but churning is part of it.
yeah, yeah.
The body gets the energy and the power only after it has digested. And sometimes it has to digest more or get some more food in again to build up more power. So same.
You may
It's not a one-time churning, that's it. And the same point, if tomorrow you'll churn it, you might go deeper. You might find different angles to give more
I
power.
think that's what is happening. I think that's what happens with everyone's journey. You get deeper and deeper, right? So
It's
you
like
do
having a
get caught
tool.
into the darkness, whenever there is a scene of defeat. So, yeah.
Yes,
When you have a tool, and we buy tools so that we can fix things. And it's like when you buy a tool and you just look at it and there's, oh, look, the tool could do this, the tool could do that. But without using the tool,
nothing gets fixed.
and it might be you can use the tool to fix your car, you can use the tool to fix your house.
Exactly.
So it depends
Very
on
good.
things. Yes.
But you need the tool and you need to understand the tool and you need to know what to use it for. But then you ultimately also have to use it.
Yes. Yes.
Sister Rona Omshanti.
Mhm.
So, by having this detachment or being able to know that there is this whole story of the drama, then when a situation happens, you don't cut into it and don't create any karma, negative karma to yourself.
Yeah, the whole drama itself, no, the concept of drama, that this whole human, what is it? The story of humanity exists as a drama. It exists as a story. It exists as a film. And the souls, the invisible beings of light, they are the actors. And the soul, the invisible actor, has a part. And our part is of 84 births.
Mhm.
So I am not Rona. Rona is not the actor. Rona is the part that is being acted out by the invisible soul. And the invisible, immortal, divine, living light has a part of 84 birds. And the first part of those 84 birds, the first half, they were of deity roles, victory. And then the merchant in the Copper Age, and then the Shudra in the Iron Age. The Iron Aged parts, and now is the Confluence Aged role, the Brahmin to become an angel.
Mhm.
But it is the cycle, and Baba says it exists as a story. It is a game that the invisible soul is playing, and this is a costume that he put on to play the part. No? So, and these are things to churn, to try and grasp. So just like you're watching a movie on the television screen, you don't say that is me or that is mine. You watch it and you are entertained. And there is some romance going on, there's some party going on, there's some war going on in the story. You watch it as entertainment.
Mhm.
So Baba says this whole human world story is a 5,000-year film. And there are parts of victory and parts of defeat in that story. And you, the invisible living light, if you're soul conscious, you are just observing it, watching it, being entertained in the company of Baba.
So if one wouldn't have in the part of victory and defeat, there wouldn't be any sorrow for a soul,
If
right?
you are just observing, no, you're watching a film on a screen, you don't take sorrow from the
Sometimes.
film. It is but if you are absorbed in the film, if you identify, if you think that is me, that is mine, then you take sorrow.
Even at the level of emotions, when we are getting involved in the story, then either we laugh or we cry, right?
So
That
this is what happened. We are so steeped into ignorance, and we identify with everything. We watch some movie and something happened and we start crying. We something happened in the movie, we are happy. It is just nothing real happening there. It's just entertainment.
But sometimes, sister, that you can watch a real story, somebody's life story.
Yeah,
That
but
can
in
affect
the
you.
bigger scheme of things, it
That
is
can
still a
affect you.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the bigger scheme of things, from Baba's perspective, it is still a story. Someone dies, the soul doesn't die, nobody really dies. It's just a scene in the film. Soul moves on to another body. So this in itself needs churning. What we're now doing is churning in the sense, that aspect of trying to understand the significance of drama. What does it mean when Baba says this is a drama? This is a film. You have a part. of 84 birds. And we need to do this. It is not just I'm listening to Murli, I wrote my 8 points and I can repeat them at the end of the day. No, we need to really get the depth and the meaning and the importance of that point. Grasp that. And that is why we don't have time for anything else, because we get a whole Murli. Sometimes you're not even done churning one point and you get another Murli on top again already. So Baba keeps us busy with this. So many aspects. But this is also why he repeats things, because what you did not get today, you will get tomorrow. But you have to be churning, part of study. So let us go to this first part. So let's say this is like a method of churning, the method of churning. This is the first one. Go to the bottom, be introverted, and ask yourself, what is the significance of this point? What is Baba meaning by it? What is the importance of this point? And then at what time should I use this point? It's part of churning, because then you have to think, okay, in which moments I would need a point like this for myself or for someone else. And then the third aspect is with what method would I use that point? At what time and with what method can I use that point? There can be many ways to play with this, but for example, one of the reasons why Rona draws and sketches is these are things that this is, for me, it is a method to remind me, a method to explain to myself. And so not now, but I used to hang these sketches above my bed, because usually at night you have all the experiences and the emotions of the whole day in your head and your heart. So I would just look at that sketch and let it sink in and go to sleep with that sketch. And it could be a sketch of Baba with his rays and his qualities, or the sketch of the soul world and the drama below, different sketches. And just that was a method for me to, at night, as if, shift my mood before I go to bed, so that you don't carry the emotional turmoil of the day into your sleep. Now, Baba gives us also the method of a chart to shift things. Now, you have to learn to, with what method can I apply this point and at what time? And then the last part of this is with what method can I use this point of knowledge that I am churning to serve others? You understand? So you be introvert, you select your points your point that you are churning, you become introvert, and you go into the significance of that point. What is the meaning of that point? One way also to get this is to remember what has Baba said in other Murlis about this. So you go to your computer, because these days is easy. You type in that word in the Murli search engine, and you get all the parts of Murlis that Baba has spoken about that. So then you get Baba's different angles. And this is very eye-opening when you do this, because we hear these points often in a cluster of points. But if you take out one point and you read what Baba has said about that specific aspect in many, many Murlis, then you get an idea of what Baba means with that. You get a broader view of what he is saying when he uses that specific word or that specific point. But all of this is part of studying. Churning is part of studying. What has he said? What are the different examples he has given about this specific point of knowledge? And then at what time can I use it for myself? And with what method can I use it for myself? And then how can I use it to serve others? All of this is churning and is applied to any point of Gyan. And what Sister Gayatri was trying to say, it is not just about repeating the points that you heard in the Murli. You have your list, and that is good. That is part of the analysis of Murli, analysis of what Baba has been saying. And to remember that, to repeat that, that is excellent. But that is not yet digesting it. Then you still have to digest it and make it your own and start using it. And start using it not just only in actions, but even at the level of your thoughts. If you begin to see things the way Baba sees, your thoughts also shift. Makes sense? Yeah, I get. So look at, check this Morley out, print it out if you can, and see what Baba, because in the Sakar Muli, he just say, you should churn the ocean of knowledge. Wake up early morning and churn the ocean of knowledge. Okay, fine. But how to do that now? Hmm? Okay, anyone want to? Gloria, does it make sense? Gloria, you're muted.
Thank you, Sister Rona. I got it. Thank you.
Yeah, maybe one time after Madhuban. I'm going to Madhuban next week, but when I come back, you plan and come here a day, and we will have a bit of a longer talk about the different dynamics of Brahmin life, because you're listening to Murli now, so it's good you know a little bit more.
That'll be great, Sister Rona.
Yeah, so Amrit Vela is one of the big lifestyle suggestions that Baba gives us. Every day in the early morning, you wake up, you say good morning to Baba, and you practice the bodiless stage, and you go to the soul world, and you experience that deep exchange, that sweet company of God. And that is like nectar for the soul. It is like power for the soul. In the morning, you begin your day with as if setting it right with Baba. Put that consciousness right. And this is 4 o'clock, 4 to 4:45. If you can, even 5 o'clock. 45 minutes to an hour you take for that. This is part of Brahmin life, part of yogi life. And it is not negotiable. No? Of course, we have to change our lifestyle when we come to Baba, but For a yogi, for someone who is serious with this becomes an important part of their daily routine. And then after Amrit Vela, you get ready for the Murli class, which officially starts at 6 with meditation again, and then 6:30 the Murli. And Baba said, okay, then you have nurtured the soul. Then you got all your nectar and ammunition and your your tools and your weapons. Then you go out and you go and face the world and deal and serve and do whatever you need to do. Yeah.
Thank you, Sister Rona.
And so once you have listened to the Murli, then what is the next step? You identify areas, points of knowledge in the Murli, areas of understanding that you need to digest further, churn on it. You know, the word churn comes from churning milk, and if you churn it hard enough, then it becomes butter. So Baba said you have to extract butter from this knowledge. Deep secrets, the power, the richness of Murli, and make that your own. All of this is the journey. And churning knowledge is essential for quality of yoga, quality of remembrance, because the power and the depth and the accuracy of your yoga depends on your churning. Because if you're just only repeating points in your study, then that is what you will do in your yoga also. You will just repeat some points in your head all the time. Because what happens with yoga is you understand, you have the depth and the understanding of something, and you hold that in your mind with the full grasp, and you allow that to become a deeper experience. And feelings will come. Yeah. Chart is another tool that Baba gives us as very useful in your upliftment and your journey, because chart means you're checking. It gives you, it is like a method also to check if your churning is right, to check if your yoga has depth, because otherwise we can stay at a very superficial level. No? And but check, what did I do, and what was the outcome? And if I was distracted, what distracted me, and why did it distract me? What is this ego behind that prevents me from loving Baba? You know, so chart is an essential tool in that too.
And I guess also that knowledge that you're churning can also, I mean, we know that Baba loves us, but to really experience it and really love ourselves, that's the tricky part, because if you don't churn, then it doesn't make sense to you why it's being repeated so much, and it won't, and it gets boring to listen to.
Yes.
I think, yeah.
But also, you know, the if we have to go back to the essence of the whole thing, we come back to who is I.
Yeah.
And this is something that is useful to churn every day until we get it right. Because just like now you're saying, oh, we know that Baba loves us, but do we experience it? We don't experience it because our sense of self is mixed.
Mm.
It is mixed with the part. Because what is there not to love about the soul, the pure soul? What is there not to, and we ourselves need to become clear about that. The soul is innocent, playful, lovely, childlike being of light. What is there not to love? But we mix in the part, and we mix in the sanskars that have come in ignorance, but that is not the real you. I understand. So to not identify with all these Ravan sanskars, with these thoughts that are created under the influence of body consciousness, that is not the real you.
And if you don't change, what also, which I have experienced personally, is every mistake from the past haunts you.
Yeah, yeah.
And it reminds you of all the things that Baba says you are not.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's so important. Yeah.
No, and this is why it is, the essence of body consciousness is ignorance. So everything that has been done in vices and whatever, it is because of ignorance. Now, you don't beat yourself up because of ignorance. And you don't feel that it is, what is it? Right to be anyone, a child. You don't beat that child up because in ignorance they make a mistake.
Yeah, you are
Mistake
not
is
aware.
mistake, and there are consequences for mistake, but you don't beat the child up because of the ignorance. You give knowledge. And so you do that with yourself too. And if you learn to do that with yourself, you will start doing it with others too.
Om Shanti, sister.
One moment. I don't want to jump away immediately from this topic because this is an important topic. Because we all have a past. And even if we have a good life, in everyone's life, there are skeletons. In everyone's life. Even if it is a thought of a violence that you had as a child or something. So we all have, from that perspective, we all have reasons to be mad at ourselves, to feel disgraced or ashamed or bad about ourselves. And Maya will use those points to beat you up and to make you feel
definitely
ashamed
will.
and to make you feel depressed and to make you feel not worthy and to make you feel, how can God love you? Look at what you did. You don't let that happen. But to not let that happen, we have to understand the real self, the only self. And yes, thoughts have been bad. Maybe actions also have been bad. Maybe whatever. But that was all done because of
Ignorance.
Ignorance.
ignorance. Yeah. Not because you are bad innately.
I mean,
Not
if you
because
don't
you
know what is
wanted to
right,
be bad and whatever, because there is, at a deeper level, there was a growing ignorance. So you don't blame yourself, you don't blame anyone else either. But the only way forward is to come out of ignorance. But this we have to do on a daily basis. Because Maya inside is very quick to remind you of what you did wrong. And others around you often also very quick to remind you. And the whole society structure is based to trigger you in feeling bad about yourself. So don't let that happen. But it comes back to understanding soul consciousness accurately. And here Maya tells you, oh, you know it already. No, it's not true. If we truly knew it, we would be flying forever. We can always improve on soul consciousness. We can always improve on understanding the depth of what it means to be a soul better and more. And allow that those feelings. What is there not to love? This beautiful, innocent, living light, child of God. Baba loves us, but do we recognize ourselves how beautiful and how great we are innately? And don't let Maya tell you anything different. What is this song? How did anyone ever tell you you are anything less than beautiful? I understand, Star. And so in every, at least I myself do, sometimes people tell me, why every time you come back to this living light and this tiny star? That is the first thing. We have to get that right. In every churning, include churning on soul consciousness and allowing that to become a deeper experience. Otherwise, it is, I know the knowledge, but I don't feel it is true. I don't feel I am worthy. I don't feel Baba talking to me or about me, but he does. Everything else is just illness accumulated on the soul. And illness is not the real you. Okay, we have to stop, but there were two things. Vimal, you wanted to say something?
That was just regarding ignorance. I said because we didn't know any better, so
Yeah.
we thought that's normal, and we kept on behaving that way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we have to continuously tell ourselves this.
Now we learn how
Yeah.
to, yes.
Yeah. Sharon?
Yes, in that same vein, two things that helped me a lot is I remember that everything Baba says is the truth. So I take that, and that's my foundation. So I know, and Baba also says, let the past be the past.
Mm.
So I'm not dwelling, I'm not blaming, I'm not stuck over there or anything like that. And Baba sees me as such a lovely, sweet child. He says it every day. And so I just try to keep up front that
Mm.
I am not the mistakes I've made. I am not. Those things were sanskars that I acquired. I adopt
Mm.
property,
In ignorance.
ignorance,
In
property
ignorance.
that is
Yeah,
not my own.
exactly.
And remember my innate stage, my innate quality, that I am godlike.
Yeah.
And just everything Baba says is the truth. So
Yeah.
Baba said it, it's the truth.
Yeah.
So that's how I keep myself
Very
knowing
good.
how much Baba loves me
Yeah.
and loves all of us, all of us.
Yeah.
And that's how I
But
keep.
even stronger, Baba loves us. But what is there not to love?
What is there not to love?
You know,
I'm godlike.
yeah,
I'm God.
exactly. So that's, and to start seeing what is it that Baba sees? What is it that Baba thinks? How is, and to make that natural for the self too. But it is new. It is old, but it is new. Hmm?
And Baba knows because Baba tells us too, don't become disheartened.
Yeah.
Don't be upset about your stage, wherever you are. Don't be upset about those
Yeah.
things and stuff. Little things like that. I just try to keep with me, keep up front, so that when obstacles present themselves, I have the tools to stay stable.
Very good. Yeah. And this other point that Star was making about otherwise you get bored. Yes. If we just take it at that superficial level, we will get bored because then we will feel it is the same thing we're hearing all the time. And then we never learn to what is it? To live our life from that different perspective also. It becomes something I do in the morning, that's it, and then I go about my normal life kind of thing, which is a bit of the bhakti attitude. You know, Sunday I go to church, I listen to these beautiful things they all say, I sing also and clap, and I get some hosti. But then I go back to the reality of my everyday life. And one doesn't really fit into anything else. You know, so that is why this it to grind it into my thinking and feeling. Hmm? Chitrani, and then we stop.
I just want to say, Baba tells us over and over again because I know I forget, and it's kind of like a reminder for me too.
Yeah. Mm, mm, mm. Okay. So you have your 4 steps now for churning. And whenever you can, you go through that whole Murli. But every day take time. And if you can do it in writing is even better. Especially to instill the habit to churn, start with writing. And just ask this question. Okay, this is the point that Baba made. What is the meaning of this point? What has Baba said in other Murlis about this point? Then at what time can I use it for myself? How to apply it for myself? And then the 4th question is, how can I use this point to serve others? And if you can write that out, it will help you very much.
This was very helpful.
Yeah. Okay, so let's close. Om Shanti.
Shanti.
Om
So
Shanti.
enjoy your day churning the jewels of knowledge. And in the morning, you will immerse yourself, filling yourself with nectar during Amrit Vela.
Thank
Om
you,
Om
sister.
Shanti.
Shanti, Sister
Shanti.
Lorna.
Have a great day,
Shanti.
guys.
Everybody.
Thank you so much.
Love it. Thank you.